I'm sorry about that, guys. Here I am blabbering away with no audio. I appreciate that, Cryptidville. Sometimes all my audio are shut off. I got a mic with audio. I got the computer audio. I got the StreamYard audio. And so sometimes I got to do a triple check, double check, and it does happen. So let me just rehash what I was doing. Give me some time to put the link into the chat for the Michigan Bigfoot Dogman Conference, which you see the photograph behind me and stuff. $30 online, $35 at the door. It's at the Ingham County Fairgrounds in Mason, Michigan. That is just a couple miles south of Lansing, the capital of Michigan. And you would be quite surprised that there are a number of Bigfoot sightings in the whole county of Ingham County. And which is just basically a big old farmlands county. There's nothing but farms and little swaths of woods, of course, in the middle of all the farms and little swamps here and there. Of course, there's no major mountain forest systems. There's no major forest wild systems or anything like that. But it is a major hub of sightings, most likely migrational sightings, but you would be quite surprised and stuff. There's a lot of food, a lot of farms being planting their crops and already and stuff. We can see them growing and stuff. And as you see the different crops develop, different heights and stuff, that corn, especially once it gets, especially 12 feet tall towards the end, I would suspect that the Sasquatch Bigfoot are definitely in the corn eating and stuff. And they already know the habits of the generational farmers and stuff. They already know the habits and have grown up in the whole landscape and have watched homesteads develop, farms, and when one farmer dies, it gets passed around the family, uncles and nephews and other people's kids and stuff, and then it gets sold out. And but they develop and they watch how farms operate, how the seasonal habits of farmers, and they can migrate and move around and predict that, usually around this time of June, the farmer is doing this, this, and this. Typically, he's not going to be over here in this little swampy area and stuff. So we can hang out over here and won't really have to worry about the pressure of someone bothering us. Now, of course, if the grandkids or some random family kids come over and they're all running wild, that's a little bit different. But for the most part, I think they can predict what the average farmer is going to do based on years of observation. And so Ingham County is a prime example of this farming habitat. Lots of plenty of food, and one of many counties that you would be surprised that Bigfoot would be in. In fact, I've talked to a few different people, and some have laughed at me, and other people have actually told me their experiences. So it is very, very interesting how it doesn't really take a big old mountain in the Pacific Northwest to have Bigfoot around. And of course, there has to be a reason why. So I'm putting the link to the tickets, to the online information and stuff in the description right now. And then we'll get started. We'll be showing some videos. We got a couple little interesting videos with little segues into some topics, and then two new to me. I don't know if they're new to everyone else, but newish Bigfoot videos that are supposed Bigfoot evidence and big videos and all that. So we will be showing those towards the end of I only got a couple videos to show. They should go pretty quick. And then I'll put the probably the link to come on to the show into the chat. And just hang out and chill and stuff. Like I said, I've gone through the 50 hours of audio and stuff, and I have another 24 hours, of course, just got that I haven't even looked at. So, of course, this last couple days and stuff, I had audio out. So I'm going to go check that and hopefully have something interesting that I can present to you guys probably next live show or or sooner, depending how crazy some stuff are. You never know. I had other plans today, but I planned to do the live show, but I had other plans to do stuff and be out in the woods and stuff. But unfortunately, I left some of my gear at my girlfriend's house. It's a little bit of a drive to go over there, so I go over there Monday, get all that, and during the week be um be out and about in some prime new areas that I just have permission to. Actually, these are private properties that are huge swaths of land and a little bit of course interesting areas, of course, and a little bit of drive, but of course I have access to some nice private land finally, and going to conduct some of that long-term audio once I get next week. Be buying everything and stuff. I haven't decided. I'm kind of picky on the audio and stuff, and I was waiting on YouTube's check that they're supposed to send me, but they keep they just keep saying, "Oh, it's going to be this date, this date, this date," pushed back. So it's like, all right, well, whatever. It's there when it's there. So we're gonna get that. Got the of course my old trusty audio working, and I did go out and hung out with Ben Strong Wolf. He is part of. He changed his name. I'm gonna make sure I get it right real quick. Let me zoom over because I think it's a paranormal group and stuff. And basically, we met out in the woods, and so me and him went out, and he took me to some of the spots that he and his team recently went out and possibly had some paranormal activity, but it's in the same areas that we go Bigfooting and all that. So we hung out and stuff, and nothing really happened. You like usual, but had a fun time and stuff hanging out with him. And so we're gonna be doing more of that, teaming up and stuff. He has a pretty sizable group of let's say probably 15 people, and psychic mediums and stuff. So they kind of go out there and feel stuff, and so it's just be interesting just to tag along and hang out and not really just observe and stuff and do the Bigfoot thing, but also just see what kind of goes on and see what kind of shenanigans they get into and all that. So, and of course, it is a prime area because the last time that we teamed up and was out there, that we actually did have a variety of different activity, and they caught some apparitions and all that. So let me pull it up so you can go to his channel and give him some support because he needs subscribers and all that because he's working hard and trying at what he does. So if you guys are into that paranormal ghost hunting type of stuff, then I will recommend his channel in a second. Because he changed it. It was like Paranormal Ghost Contact, and now it is Ghost Contact Paranormal on YouTube. So he has 412 subscribers. He needs a lot more. Let's get him to 1,000. But he does the ghost hunting stuff. And so you can check out all his stuff there. And then Ghost Contact Paranormal, of course, on Facebook. So shout out to Ben. Good guy, good-hearted guy. So yeah, so I had a lot of fun eating alive and stuff. I was out in the woods a couple times this weekend and stuff. But me and Ben were getting swarmed by just by deer flies and stuff, trying to buzz our heads. But the last couple times I've been setting out the audio and was hanging out in the woods, just getting eaten alive by the mosquitoes. Like the bug spray I was using is just not even. They're just eating it and laughing at me. It's horrible. So my arms were pretty puffed up the other day of so many bites. But I did get some audio set out, and of course got some more hours racked up to go over and look at. So after the live stream, I got some running around to do. I got some equipment to fiddle around with, and I'll be checking out the audio, and hopefully we got something. Most likely not. Most of the time it's just nothing. But I'm a little excited and stuff because you got that wow and that wah, and some of the other stuff that we've got, and just randomly putting new places, and also acquiring a new private area that has never been touched by Bigfoot researchers. And I'm not going to try to have the Bigfoot on the brain and conjuring the Bigfoot. I'm just setting it out there, and whatever happens, happens type of thing. Not no whoops, not researching in there, not walking around in there. So that will be kind of a control type of area where we will see what happens. Because if I'm not doing anything, not doing any Bigfoot shenanigans, researching, as we should say, should have no influence on the area and all that. So we'll see what we kind of get. That's going to be a little bit long-term stuff. So I don't think we'll have results. I'm going to try, even if I do get results from that place, to not even say anything until we gather enough long-term research data and actually points of interest, audio hits that could come forward and say, out of this control area, this area, don't need to go into research. This has happened, compared to other areas where I would say, oh, this is an active area and we've had this happen before. It's a little bit more. No, not the data. Yeah. I got to stop saying that word. People might get butthurt. So that's pretty much the upcoming things. Of course, getting ready for the conference, as we got a couple speakers lined up, and really trying to gear towards teaching people and just being aware of what's really going on, because there are a lot of missing people in Michigan. You would be quite surprised. There are generally a lot of missing people in a lot of states, regardless of Bigfoot forest related activities. There's just a lot of missing people, and it is of concern in some of these areas where we have gone to and go and have been, and some of these just vacation spots and everyday places you wouldn't think here in Michigan has very odd, mysterious circumstances. That's some of that 411 stuff where people go missing and a whole dune is searched, a whole sand dune is searched and dug out and excavated. Nothing's found. And then, later on, the missing person is found in the dune, with that was already dug up, turned over, gone through, and, makes no sense. Makes no sense at all. There's odd missing, just odd stuff that happens in the woods, right? There's odd sightings of, Michigan has a lot of UFO sightings. There's, of course, a lot of ghost sightings, a lot of missing planes that fly over the Great Lakes and go missing. There's the famous military, I think in 1950s, 1940s. Anyways, Navy, I think it was the Coast Guard or Navy. Anyways, planes went after UFOs and stuff, something anomaly over the Lake Superior, as long with the Canadian Royal Air Force. And our planes actually disappeared and were never recovered. And that's actually a famous mystery called like the Great Lakes Triangle. Generally, is the aviation mysteries and boating, missing boats on Lake Michigan, which is very interesting and very wild. So generally, Michigan, the Great Lakes region, I would say, is very mysterious, has a lot of missing people. So we're kind of gearing this conference, being the Michigan Bigfoot and Dogman Conference. There's weird stuff in Michigan that we just can't explain. And we should just be open-minded, be aware of it, because, sometimes things happen, and we want to make sure that safety is the most important thing, and we can get some people from not being, missing or something happening. Because we can't think that all Bigfoots are friendly, right? That all Bigfoots are going to be your friendly forest friend that are going to be looking out for you, right? Some type of guardian, right? That's some of that Wu Train stuff. But we can expect from the natural way of life, the natural way of things of every animal that's ever been on Earth, that push comes to shove, that animals will defend themselves, of course, and animals will prey and eat on humans when starvation is happening, when old age happens, when it's uh, learned behavior and stuff. Generally a lot of even all everyday predators, great white sharks and bears and stuff, generally don't prey on people, but they can learn to get the taste and become man eaters, as they say, right? There's a lot of strange things that are encountered in the woods, and you can't say that all of them are friendly and nice and magical and lolly-da and lollipops and unicorns and stuff. I would suspect a lot of things can happen and accidents happen and maybe wrong place, wrong time things. And if we can at least not have some type of awareness, we can probably stay on guard and keep our mindset at the optimum so we can encounter whatever, have a good place of not just wanderously, aimlessly going after something we, like lights and stuff, see orbs and stuff in the woods. A lot of legends and stuff say that you don't follow those things because you go missing and stuff like that. So there might be something to those type of legends and others, and the legends that sometimes Bigfoot is kind of mean and kind of hungry, and you're on the menu. If you bug him, you piss him off, go after a crying baby in the woods that might not be a crying baby, but a Bigfoot baby. You might not make it out alive. There's certain lines that invisible lines, it's not like they're telling us once you cross this line, that's it. You're not getting a warning. You're getting dispatched. What is happening to all the missing 411 people, regardless if it's not all Bigfoot? It's not all Bigfoot, I don't think, especially in the ones in the city. Doesn't make sense. Very odd circumstances of basically bodies being missing in the city and dumped and found right behind City Hall. That was looked, and crazy stuff. So the stuff in the city, I wouldn't say was Bigfoot, but so there's a lot of craziness going on, So at the Michigan Bigfoot Dogman Conference, we're going to spread the awareness a little bit about some of that stuff and how we can just be prepared and guard against some of the stuff. Spreading the awareness is one step. Spreading the awareness that there's simply weird things and entities that that roam the backwoods of Michigan. So we're going to be teaching some casting stuff, how to write a report, proper report. Of course, we're going to have a couple good speakers already lined up. Hopefully, waiting on one more, and then showing, of course, evidence and stuff. Showing the evidence I have of supposed Bigfoot audio that was recorded by a person that I randomly just came across and started talking about, and I've been vetting this family and stuff for a year now, and haven't put it out. And like I was talking about last episode, the last live stream, 100. I mean, 99. I can't always be 100, but I'm fairly confident that it's legit. Definitely legit. No reason for them to lie, and kind of lucky that they still have this random video of this encounter with some type of cryptid, right? And it's definitely making some vocalizations, and it's doing some tree breaks. And the woman who's taken the video is pretty frightened and stuff, and she verbally expresses that several times. So be showing that off and stuff, and going to be taking people out, of course, those who are invited. And I mean, not everyone is invited. There's some people who definitely aren't going to be allowed at the conference or in the campground because they're not professional enough, and a nuisance and a danger to people, to be honest, really, as the night would go on. So we are going to have fun and have another annual Bigfoot conference as we keep growing and growing and growing, and having fun and teaching people, really, and networking, and hopefully getting some new encounters, reports, and maybe someone will have their own evidence, some video and audio that they can come forward and bring, just because you know, you have something going on in the local area next to you. So I would say if you're thinking about trying to do a conference and stuff, and you don't have to worry about starting big, just go somewhere and start and have fun and try to teach people and stuff. Really, and I met a lot of great people along the way through conferences and stuff that I wouldn't probably have not ever have met. So that is still probably the best thing about a conference is meeting all the people and showing up and hanging out. So if you can make it to Mason, Michigan, just a couple miles south of the capital of Michigan, hang out with us, go camping, hang out, going in some prime Bigfoot areas, as they say, with historical sightings. And who knows, maybe something will actually happen. Most likely nothing will happen, but there's always a good chance. And it'd be nice to have some good, reliable witnesses to have to collaborate and corroborate the story of what we're encountering and stuff. And that's basically it. Trying to get it on camera, trying to get it on audio and stuff, especially when we get some of this new equipment with mic hookups and bionic ear type of stuff. It's not a parabolic dish, but they're definitely very, very good, as effective as parabolic dishes and stuff, and multi-directional if we need it to. And so got some cool stuff coming along, working on that thermal fun and all that. We're going to probably be getting a very expensive thermal and putting the work in to capture whatever we're encountering on the thermal. So that thermal probably won't be ready, of course, for the conference, as we're going to try to get the a couple grand worth of thermal, a single thermal device. So we got to go big because we need something that's going to be powerful. It's going to be long range and good battery life and software and everything else. So, all right, let's play some videos, guys, and then we'll probably open up the chat up, of course. So let's get some videos going. So this first video is, I think, pretty sweet. Of course, shows some interesting wildlife interaction and kind of makes you think about, and it kind of gives you a glimpse about, maybe what Sasquatches could do in the same situation, or what would they do, and how would the same situation arise and stuff. So let's take a look at this. All right, so and basically, we see a black bear crossing a little pond or river or something and stuff, a creek, and you see that there are gators that go and swim right up at it and try to take a little swipe out of it, and the black bear just swaps them and just lets them know that he is not on the menu. And it kind of makes you really wonder and think and get a glimpse of, what would Bigfoot be doing and stuff, because black bear is not going to be as big as a massive big Bigfoot male, and we can't get a good estimate of how big those gators are. But let's say those gators are at least 5 feet long, 6 feet long, because typically that's typically when they would go after something that size, right? A black bear's no small animal. So 2 6-foot gators, and all it takes is 1-2 swipes, and the gators don't want nothing to do with it, right? So it makes you kind of think, what would a Bigfoot do? All it would have to do is swipe down and smack the water like that, and then would that generally work, right? Would that work on, of course, on a 12-foot gator? I don't know, a 12-foot gator versus that bear would have been epic footage to watch. That is some raw, massive alpha animals going at it. So what would a Sasquatch do, right? Roughly a 12-foot, 10-foot Sasquatch versus a 12-foot gator, right? Now, Sasquatches, obviously have fingers and hands and more dexterity and would fight differently. And I think they would probably, to be honest, wrestle. I think they wrestle animals. That's how they have hands and stuff, and they would probably most likely wrestle that. I get that opinion, that theory from John Green's book, where there was a eyewitness of course, Bigfoot wrestling each other in a form of practice slash play. And of course, there was depicted as them wrestling each other and practicing, and it was a type of play. Of course, we see a supposed video of the two Sasquatches fighting at the barn and wrestling around and stuff like that. Giant one comes out, supposedly. Of course, good friend Ryan here says crocodile stalks Bigfoot. Bigfoot. So you've chosen death. And that is probably true. If, to be honest, full grown massive Bigfoots in the water who know the massive gators or know the, local gators can probably, again, use their intelligence to outsmart the animals and avoid them most of the time, or cause a big enough deterrent where you have, two grown Sasquatches. Is that enough to make a 12-foot gator of not want to attack? Right. Of course, we have supposed monster gators that get up a couple feet more than that. Of course, there's real legends of them being, 17-foot, 19-foot, 20-foot alligators, right? And of course, now there's actual saltwater crocs in the Everglades, right? Which supposedly some skunk apes are, or Bigfoot is. So, and now those get truly massive, right? So, would two grown Sasquatches be enough for a full-grown alligator to be deterred? Or would he still kind of try to go after a family of Sasquatches and stuff? Certainly, the young ones would be anything under, 7 feet or 7 foot, 8 foot. I mean, at what size are they still on the menu? Is one on the menu at least, right? A group of them is different. And Sasquatches are reported, of course, through eyewitness reports, to be great swimmers and stuff. Could they distract and use weapons like tools like a club and stuff to try to stick and prod and get on the back and choke them out and rip them apart and gouge, eyes and stuff like that? And I mean, Bigfoot are pretty brutal in description and through theory of dispatching whatever type of animal is going on. And if they're after their kids, I would definitely assume that a Sasquatch is going to have no mercy on whatever kind of animal that it's facing. In fact, Val Savala, a good researcher here in Michigan, has several bear reports of Sasquatches going at it with bears, and they have no mercy, throwing rocks and clubs and beating the bears into mush piles, basically, because of them attacking their young. And I would probably assume that they would have the same kind of vengeance. In Val's words, they have very wicked vengeance and revenge that, if you hurt one of them, they are going to take you out. And so I probably would assume that's the same case for down in Florida, where skunk apes are, and dealing with massive alligators. So, of course, smaller alligators would be on the menu, right? Everything's on the menu for Bigfoot. But alligators and bears and crocodiles, are one of the only animals that makes little Bigfoot on the menu. So just a little observation of what a bear will do. Let's play it again. And what would a Bigfoot do? Obviously, a massive swipe from swimming on the surface could probably deter most alligators. But what if they truly had to wrestle with a king 12-foot, 13-foot alligator? Would they have to dive under the water and wrestle around with the beast? What kind of tactics and stuff, and what kind of stuff would they to do? Because learning how to hunt, learning how to take out alligators and stuff, to survive, to be the king of the jungle, right? The true alpha predator of the swamp. Is it the full-grown alligator, or would we say is the full-grown skunk ape, Bigfoot? I would say Bigfoot, because of their intelligence and outsmarting, of course, the animal and tactics, and maybe they have a way to take out big alligators. And maybe those big alligators learn to avoid the Sasquatches. They don't want nothing to do with them. They're too much trouble to be beneficial, right? So that's why I wanted to show that video. What's up, Mr. Kreider? Of course, check out Robert Kreider's channel right there. He does a lot of interesting stuff, a lot of all sorts of different stuff, but mainly Bigfoot and treasure hunting related videos. And of course, he is the inventor of his own parabolic dish, which you can find among other equipment that he sells, which we've tested up here in the UP and have had very success with all of those stuff, because you can find the audio that we captured on Robert Kreider's parabolic dish on his channel. It was the UP vocalizations a couple years ago, and then we also have played some of the vocalizations that we caught on our audio devices from the same night, same vocalizations and other stuff. And of course, that was the same week-long expedition that Jason Kenzie and myself encountered the Sasquatches that we tried to film on Jason's 4K camera. And of course, we got what we got. We've shown it here before. We got the eye shine, very close encounters. And so, of course, shout out to Robert Kreider and Jason Kenzie. So, next video is actually the first part's kind of cut out a little bit, but this is I can't remember what it says. I'll just play it and stuff. He's talking about aliens and stuff. So
exists. Non-human intelligence has been interacting with humanity. This interaction is not new, and it's been ongoing. And there are unelected people in the government that are aware of that. There's zero doubt.
And this is a U.S. I can't remember exactly who it was. He's some type of department guy, whistleblowers coming out and, talking about the alien stuff, and of course, there's more videos of the UFOs or UAPs or whatever you want to call them nowadays of coming out and stuff. So we hear more whistleblowers, and it's kind of the same old stuff we've been hearing of this interaction between aliens and governments or humanity for a long time. And some people think Bigfoot is an alien coming down. People have seen, of course, UFOs, and they see Bigfoot, or they've seen a Bigfoot and a UFO has flown over shortly after. Is there some correlation there? Some people think that they're, some people think that they're from, whatever planet Zorth and stuff, and coming through portals, and they're a dying race. And there's all sorts of ideas and theories on this alien aspect and Bigfoot and all that. Yes, it was. It was an awesome field ops and stuff. Definitely good. Full of evidence and stuff, and a place where a lot of missing people are. Didn't know that till after the fact. There's a ton of missing people all in a big circle around all that place. So very interesting that especially the interaction that me and Jason got, because it's, could have went south. I don't know what would have happened. No one really would have known where we are. So a very interesting interaction that we've talked about many times. You can see, listen to the interview that should be Jason Kenzie and Blake Deutscher's Bigfoot encounter up in the UP. We have the raw footage on the YouTube, and then we have same name live show, should be just after that, where me and JC basically are talking to each other. We have the group interviewing ourselves and talking about the encounter and what happened in the trip up north and stuff, of course. So we've shown that video a couple times. So is Bigfoot an alien, or, is that why they're abducting all the people? And I don't know. I've seen some UFOs. There's actually a Michigan UFO video on my YouTube that I filmed that you can see a UFO, a solid light flying object that is not blinking. And then you actually see a blinking plane come into frame, and the plane has the regulation lights on, and the UFO doesn't, and they fly right by each other, and you definitely can tell there's a difference. It is in the treetops, and of course, it's not 4K, the best video, but you get enough observation that you can definitely tell it's not normal. I forgot to get a drink, so I might have to go and do that. I keep coughing. All right, so we got a couple more interesting ones in the topic of animals and stuff. How come Bigfoot gets so big, and even reports of these giants, 15-foot, 20-foot, or even like some people are talking about these Bigfoot Nephilim giants. How come how could they get so big and stuff like that? Well, we do have animals that can grow huge, and we actually have animals that can never stop growing. In fact, we have actually some animals that lifespans are very old and finite, usually reptiles and stuff. But we do have some animals, particularly animal actually right now, that we'll hear from. They're a very smart guy, that they have infinite lifespans. Actually, they can live forever if in the perfect environmental conditions. So let's hear from a scientist.
For example, there's some animals don't die. Crocodiles, alligators, flounders, they just keep getting larger. They don't die at all. They're just as vigorous at 70 as they are at 5. So how come your textbook says that crocodiles die at age 70? That's because the zookeeper died at age 70, okay? Crocodiles just keep on going. They have no known finite lifespan. They simply get bigger. So in the animal kingdom, it's not necessary to die or age. They just keep getting bigger. That's why you don't see gigantic crocodiles. It's because they die of starvation, accidents, or disease. But they have no finite lifespan.
Which is very interesting because Bob Giblin, of course, put out that video of these legendary large crocs and the stories and stuff. And, maybe they just were very old crocodile, kind of ancient crocodile compared to what modern crocs are now, because we are, of course, over hunting them and don't let them live in that perfect environment of no pollution and stuff like that, especially what's happening now. Increased pressure from human hunting and stuff like that, where they don't get big anymore. But you heard it from him that there are certain animal species, usually the amphibian or reptiles, that have this capacity to keep growing and never stop. And there are, of course, legends of catfishes as the size of Volkswagens swallowing people in medieval books and all that. So does Bigfoot have some type of mechanism that makes him be able to grow bigger the more older he gets? Or I would say if Bigfoot was maybe a reptilian or something, right? Maybe he could explain why they could get even bigger. Or you hear some of these mountain giants or Nephilim giants and things like that. How can the creatures get so big and stuff like that? And well, you heard it from yourself that in the animal kingdom, it's not necessary as long as you have the right genetic makeup and the right environment. So, of course, we don't know exactly all the different type of entities and cryptids and how their biological makeup and how they have adapted to the natural way of life, right? But we do know from other creatures that we have studied that there are possibilities of longer lifespans and increase of growth and stuff, especially probably when it comes to the colossal squids and great giant squids and gigantic squids, different types and species of what's known as the legendary cryptid, the giant squids, right? So we, again, I don't know if we don't know because we haven't got a Bigfoot body, right? Maybe Bigfoot's a big reptilian that's hairy. Maybe it's a pink unicorn that's wearing a costume. We just simply don't know because we don't have the body. We don't have the genetic makeup officially recognized and accepted by everyone. And so who knows? Natural topography has a certain scale. Bigfoot are built to fit a natural obstructions. We were too small to step up on average ledges or cross over fallen trees or hop over streams or gaps or crevices or to simply climb up a mountain cliffside and stuff like that. Yeah, they are truly built to go into the most remote and rugged areas. Or, here in Michigan, we don't have all that, but we do have, unique places of they could adapt to the habits of humans during each season. Typically, during summer and the hot months, more people are generally in the woods having fun and swimming in the lakes. And then in the winter, of course, it's the opposite. And of course, at nighttime, generally everyone is in their bed at 10 p.m. watching TV, kicking back and getting the dogs back in from taking their nightly piss, right? So the humans aren't roaming the countryside at nighttime. We're certainly not guarding anything, standing watch, standing guard, right? No guard posts, right, throughout the land anymore. Bigfoots here in Michigan and other places, of course, have adapted to humans' environment, and they've watched our literal civilization in North America developed. It's not like they were just sent over here and planted, dropped here in the middle of nowhere, and now that they have to adapt to everything that's already here. They've adapted from the Native American way of life to the settlers coming over, from muskets and cannons and log cabins and fireplaces and no electricity to have the ability to adapt alongside all that growing and technology to now we have cell phones in our pockets that are computers, right? That can take videos in 4K and do everything that we want them to do. They've adapted alongside of that. And now I would say, this is to the point where our technology is going to catch up to them and prove that there exists, because it's only literally a matter of 5-10 years with drone technology, with AI assistant technology that can be applied through audio, through the data. We're going to have AI assistants in the next 5 years that we can feed stuff from the internet into, and they will take a look at and analyze. And it's going to be all across the board of information and data and audio spectrums and video. You could be able to feed some of this AI assistance video, and guess what it can do? It's going to be looking through the woods and look for Bigfoot. Of course, you would have to program some of the stuff and all that, but that is going to be more efficient and faster than a person looking through video, or for me taking a couple hours to look and listen through audio on a spectrogram, right? We have this AI assistants doing all this. So it is literally only a matter of time, as I'm about to show you another video of exactly why. Pat Turner from Squatch Talk, another good channel on YouTube, full of discussions, thinking outside the box. And, is always harping on the, is always talking about the drones. You need a $15,000 thermal drone, a single drone. That's what we need. Well, technology is going to catch up that, we might not need that at most expensive $15,000 drone, but we could have just a lot of little drones and have drone swarm technology, which is we are seeing here in the battlefields of Europe. Drones being used on the battlefields as pretty effective and scary pieces of warfare technology that is something to think about. So let's take a look at this video, and what do you think, and how we could apply this to the Bigfoot world. So as you can see, we have drone swarm technology and just launching drones to go seek out and destroy enemy combatants on the military field. So this is actually a U.S. made, or I don't know if it said it there, U.S. or British or whatever. I think it was ours. Drone swarm technology, where we're launching a swarm of drones, and they're going to go through the woods and detect humans, detect an enemy, detect Bigfoot, could detect whatever, 5-10 years, we're going to have some of this on the civilian market for search and rescue. This is a big, great thing for search and rescue, for law enforcement, right? For anti-terroristic threats in the city. We are going to have drones in the cities of America soon enough. 5-10 years, they're going to be, all sorts of things. So we can use some of this technology right now, 5-10 years from now, and do mini drone swarms where you don't need a single drone. You could have 50 flying around in different miles and going out and returning with their data. And then you go and recharge them all, collect all the data. You go to another circle and you pop them out. This is some of the stuff that we're going to have access to and be able to do with AI assistance and stuff. This is all going to be run through a program and all that. We're going to have to teach it. And so the technology is already there. You can watch the videos of drones being used in Europe, and most of those are manned drones, manually operated drones and stuff. Some of this stuff right here with drone swarm technology is AI and stuff. So so it's only a matter of time before our technology, 5-10 years, I would say, is going to catch up, because how are you supposed to even if you can hide from thermal and stuff, they're going to have regular cameras on there that eventually they'll pick up movement, and you can have all sorts of technology put onto drones and stuff. And of course, our military is the best. We have the best stuff, the most secret stuff. Them showing us this little whatevers, or anytime the military shows the public, this is the brand new, biggest and best stuff, that's outdated technology that they don't care about, need, because they have something better, way better, that they're hiding. And so, all right, that's why I like showing that, because we are going to have increased drone technology and this AI assistant application on a whole lot of fronts. Once like ChatGPT and stuff all get hooked up to the internet and has access to real-time factual information, internet and stuff, it opens a Pandora box of a bunch of stuff, actually. Massive change to the world, and massive change to our Bigfoot community, of course. So, but we do have other technology and stuff. We do have other technology that is possible, that maybe Bigfoot has, through like this infrasound, right? Infrasound or frequency type of stuff that they could use. And we have a different kind of frequency technology now where we can actually disrupt drones and bring them down or make them fall out of the sky and stuff. And it's not the future. It's actually already here. There is technology that we can bring drones down out of the sky with a gun and stuff. We do have that. We do have frequency weapons, the military, so if Bigfoot's able to use a frequency like a weapon and direct it at people, you can have all sorts of effects, maybe like infrasound or some of this zapped, people are disoriented or feel lost or feel out of it. And you can actually have hallucinatory effects. You can actually go into like a tunnel vision or a grayness filter where it's foggy and stuff, or a shimmering type of aspect. You can actually do that through frequencies and vibration and sound waves. We do have the technology. We can all look it up and stuff. We actually can look up a couple patents that the U.S. government has. And it is not something that is new. In fact, there's old videos from the 90s showing particle explosion technology where they're shooting some type of weapon and there's nothing there and it just explodes and stuff. There's also video, I probably can look it up actually right now, of it was Lockheed Martin little rocket drone probe where it has rocket jets on all sides and it's moving and stuff. We'll show that video. I should find that, I'm sure. And this was stuff that they were working on back in the 90s or so anyways, let's pull up the other video. I didn't do it. So there are interesting applications to frequency and sound waves, like bringing down drones, or interestingly enough, the potential to put out fires and stuff through the same frequency and sound wave application. And it is all about fine tuning it to certain frequencies and stuff and applying it to different things. The most scariest aspect, of course, is you could program a frequency and a death ray frequency that you aim at people and basically put them out like that. Which I'm sure, military has access to, some of that Tesla stuff. But we do have applications of this frequency stuff you've even seen of the anti-bug frequency stuff that you would plug into the wall and it emits a frequency that puts and drives bugs away and stuff. So we do have a lot of different technologies in the civilian world applications that use frequency sound waves. And, maybe that's just what Sasquatch naturally have able to do is tune this infrasound, these sound waves into a certain frequency that can scramble the brains of people, make you hallucinate a little bit, make you disoriented and confused. The whole zapped being zapped type of thing. Yeah, definitely AI is spooky. I think I've watched too many Terminator films. Yeah, same. I definitely don't plan on getting the neural link in my brain, but there are a couple people that have already got it. And one person who's got the neural link was actually on the Joe Rogan's podcast. So I haven't watched that particular show, but I've seen a couple clips. It is pretty interesting. The technology and stuff. Of course, I would always caution. You don't want just, it's great applications for paralyzed people and stuff. This guy was, had some type of injury and stuff, but it'd be kind of spooky to be able to flip a switch and all of a sudden you become a robot and can't control yourself, or just sitting back observing everything that you're not able to control anymore. So AI is definitely spooky in a whole nother level, and so is some of that stuff. But beneficial reasons, we can, if we control some of it, there's a lot of benefits that we could use all the technologies that are just as scary for beneficial and good for the humanity purposes. So, check, done. All right. All right, so I guess we're done with all the videos besides the Bigfoot videos. And we have one that we have a long one and we have a short one. So we got a 4-minute long video that I guess I'm just going to let play because I don't think it's been put on YouTube, and I don't know. Either I'll get in trouble for it or I won't. Doesn't really matter. It just means I won't get $1 off this live stream. That's about it. So let me download that real quick because I had to upload that through Google Drive. So let me get to that. Of course, not right here. And then after we get through these about 10 more minutes, I'll put the link in the chat to come on. Anyone who wants to come on, talk about pretty much whatever. Try to keep it clean. Of course, try to keep the swearing to a minimum. Keep your emotions down. Don't get all feisty and stuff. Don't be looking like Joe Biden at the debates, ready to go slug Trump, talking about his son. What a fiasco. What a mess that we're in with that, huh? Makes you just want to dive right into the Bigfoot subject and forget about everything else. So, anyways, I did, if you actually want to get into a little bit of politics and debate drama fiasco and shenanigans. I actually did a show. I do a show on Thursdays called The Beast System on Rumble. And that is The Beast System. We have a lion as the logo. And we did a live debate commentary and stuff. And, had fun and stuff. And said, watched the debate and stuff. And it was hilarious. And it was a good time stuff with Emily and Melissa. And we had a couple guests jump on. And definitely kind of a different type of show that I do. So if you want to check that out, that is The Beast System on Rumble. Is this it? Yes. All right, let me download this and then started. That's going to take about another minute or two. Well, the month of July is about to start, and I keep seeing an ad on Facebook for supporting wounded veterans and stuff, and it's 1776 push-ups in the amount in July and stuff, and I'm thinking about just doing it and stuff. I don't know if I'm going to sign up for the for it and all that. Too much effort, but I might make a couple of videos of me doing a couple push-ups. And honestly, all it is you got to do 100 push-ups every other day with 1 day of 200 push-ups, and you can get 1776 push-ups in the month of July. And if you do sign up and stuff, which I'm considering and stuff, it's just to help benefit to wounded warriors and stuff like that. And it's a little charity event, and I think you document your push-ups in some sort of way, I'm sure, or at least people say they do. I'm not quite sure. So I know last year they had 1,000 push-ups in the month of May for St. Jude's Hospital. I'm not sure why I get all these different stuff, probably because I have stuff I follow, of course, but and it's a good way to donate and bring donations to those in need, of course. So I'm going to be doing that regardless of the donation things, because it's kind of inspiring. Like, okay, can I do 1776 push-ups in the month of July? And the answer is yes. I already know I can do that. 100 push-ups every other day is actually pretty feasible. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to try to do 500 push-ups one weekend, one day, take another week, do 500 push-ups, take another week, do 500 more, and then I just got 200 more to do. So I might document that instead of doing every other day for the whole month. I could just pump out 500 in a day to document. Anyways, to get bigger and stronger and to be able to look for Bigfoot more, because if you're out there, the most common injury is to sprain your legs or to injure yourself or to fall down. And if you work out just a little bit and stuff, not being a couch potato, you can protect yourself from injury. Even when you fall, you can brace yourself and actually have a better muscle and protection around you in case something happens. And let's be real. By 2030, what do you think the amount of beasts? What's the number of obese people? 1 out of 10. What's the number of obese people that Americans are going to be? What's the number? 1 out of 10. What do you think? How many obese people? 1 out of 10, right? How many do you think? 1 out of what? That is going to be how many people are how many? How many you guys think, right? I'll give you an answer. By 2030, the number of obese people in America will be 1 out of 2. Half of all people will be obese. Half of all, and that's bad. That's a general big general health pandemic, if you sort of will. That's because it leads to all sorts of health issues and stuff, and that's not good, right? So how can we avoid that? Is by dieting, mostly from non-GMO and crappy foods, which is almost impossible to get away from, but cutting out that sugar and working out a little bit. And there is no excuse. You can be as old can be. You can still work out. You might not work out the same as a fit 22-year-old person will, right? You're not going to be running a mile in 5 minutes. That's however old age you are. But there are certainly things you can do. And I think if you're young, fit, and starting somewhere and doing something is better than nothing. And that is because you have to prepare. So, and it's only beneficial for you out in the woods because you're going to get stronger. And like they're saying, like Peter Bridsell said, you have a stronger physique going on and have a better mental, spiritual fortitude that you're able to stand a lot better, everyday life, regardless of what's going on. But, applying out in the wilderness, you're going to be able to go out in the wilderness longer. You're not going to be as irritated. You're not going to be as hot. Your body's going to perform better. You're not going to be able to get hurt as much. You're going to have better balance. You're able to traverse the landscape, trip over yourself a little bit more without injuring yourself. It's not about trying to prove who's Billy Badass by doing more push-ups. It's about generally getting people better so we don't have 1 out of every 2 people are obese by 2030 here in America. That's a extremely scary statistic. I got kids, and that's scary to think that, that number could be that high in that 5 more years, they're going to fall into that category. 1 out of 2, which is it, and it's scary and stuff. We have a lot of health issues and stuff going on, and it is the food. It's just the shit food that is the cause of it. And anyways, let's see if that video is downloaded. It is. Let's get back to the Bigfoot subject, away from the doing the push-ups. But I implore everyone, to start somewhere. If you can't do proper full push-ups on your feet, do them on your legs, do them on your knees. I mean, they're kind of referred to as girl push-ups, but I'll tell you what, you got to start somewhere. And that's where I started. Before I could do proper push-ups, I would do girl push-ups, and then I would do proper push-ups. Then I would do 12, and then I would do, a couple sets a day, and then you get bigger and bigger and better, and then you could do 25 push-ups at a time, and then 30 push-ups at a time, and then you could do 200 push-ups a day, and then you decide start doing more and more and more, and do 1,000 push-ups in a month. How many push-ups can you do in a week? How many push-ups can you do in a day? And push yourself more and more and more, and you're going to get stronger. The same thing with if you do sit-ups and crunches or stretching. Stretching is more important than push-ups. Stretching is more important than anything. Because I guarantee you, almost 99% of all Americans need to stretch and stretch for 20 minutes doing different things. Because what I've noticed is whenever I stretch, at the job site and stuff, working and lifting massive logs, I always get asked, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" As if something's wrong when you're stretching to prevent injury, but it's considered like you're injured because you're stretching or something, We got to really get out of this mindset and get stretching into like it's good for you. You're not injured. It's preventing injury. Because I kind of laugh and I just think, why does everyone always think that you're hurt because you're stretching? You're trying to prevent yourself from being hurt, right? No one is stretching. So I would implore you guys just to do that already. So, and be careful about it, of course. You can definitely overstretch and got to know your limit and feel your body out. And through workouts, that is one way. So let's get back over to the Bigfoot side of things. Now, this video is going to be, I think, 4 minutes long. I think I'm going to go get a drink real quick while it plays. And this is one of the new videos, I guess, that's been floating around that I came across. Maybe it's not new to you guys. It seems to be new to me. What do you guys think? Here's the whole analysis of this guy and what he thinks is going on. And then I want to get you guys' opinions. And, of course, going to give my own opinion on what I think is going on. So it's 4 minutes and 38 seconds. I'm going to go get a drink while it plays.
Good afternoon, everyone. Rick here from Florida Trail Cam Adventures. and today we're down in the Florida swamp, specifically Mallory Swamp. Good afternoon, everyone. Rick here from Florida Trail Cam Adventures, and today we're down in the Florida swamp, specifically Mallory Swamp, which is a huge 300,000 acre swamp. And I've got my camera set up on the edge of a cypress pond, and you can see a typical camera catcher where this deer is going across here. But back in the back there, probably 50-60 yards, you can see another deer that's coming in. And look at the eye spacing on the deer. I mean, that's typical. You can almost automatically know that's another deer coming. Alright. First, let's look at the size comparison chart between the average 6-foot human and the average white-tailed buck, with those being exceptionally smaller. So most eye height for average white-tailed deer is going to be between 3 foot to 3.5 feet from the ground. This is the same spot 2 nights later. I'm going to let you watch it uninterrupted, and then I'm going to break it down to tell you what I think happened here.
I just want to stop it right there. Of course, to not really get copyrighted strikes and all that, because I don't think it's on YouTube and all that. No one's going to get all butthurt, but you never know. So anyways, keep listening and stuff to figure out what's really going on.
Since the trail camera doesn't move, I've taken 3 different screenshots, 1 from the first night and 2 from the second night, to try to get a size comparison of these creatures. The reason I chose these 3 pictures is I believe all 3 creatures are approximately the same distance from the camera. We know from the size comparison chart that the average doe eye height is about 3 feet from the ground. In picture 2, I believe the creature is standing at full height. And we know in picture 1 that is a doe standing approximately 3 feet high from the ground. Now in picture 3, you see 2 sets of eye shine, which I believe is the large creature bent over and another small doe standing very close to it. Since we know the height of the deer in picture 1 and picture 3 is approximately 3 feet, now we can look at picture 2 and get a pretty good idea of the height of that creature. And I believe it to be anywhere between 7 to 8 feet tall.
All right, so you heard it from there. We're going to get a little sneak peek, I guess, of what's going to happen at the end. And you'll just take a look at the eye shine that is right on the right side of the screen. And you'll see the doe and see the deer and all that. So let's continue to watch the video. And, yeah, I see your comments in the Peter, and the definition is definitely true. It's very weird how that is, the definition. Anyways, let's get back to this.
Okay, now let's go back to the video. We can first see the creature back in the right corner there. And we've got 3 deer, one that's going across, one that's just at the edge of the side of the camera, and we got the large creatures in the back. Now briefly, you're going to see that small doe. There's the eye shine right there, see it? Now if you watch the doe in the foreground, she is intensely watching what's going on. And she's actually getting a little spooked. And you should be able to see the eye shine of there's the little doe again. Now watch what happens. He reaches down, grabs that deer, and is gone with it. And I believe that's what happened. Intensely watching what's going on. And she's at the edge of the side. Picture 1 and picture anywhere between. And we've got 3 deer. One that's going across, one that's just at the edge of the side of the camera, and we got the large creatures in the back. Now briefly,
I'm muted. Of course I'm muted. Of course I'm muted. So basically we're taking a look back at the video. You know, he explained what it is and stuff. I'm having a little confusion with what he says is the eye shine versus the creatures, because he says there's 3 deer in the picture, and it looks like there's 3 deer right there.
you're going to see that small doe. There's the eye shine right there. See it? Now,
So that's the creature right there, right? And then that is the small doe that you just seen walk over there to the creature, right?
if you watch the doe in the foreground, she is intensely watching what's going on. And she's actually getting a little spooked.
It looks like it.
And you should be able to see the eye shine of there's the little doe again. Now watch what happens. He reaches down, grabs that deer, and is gone with it.
Gone
and I
with
believe
it.
that's what happened.
All right, let's mute that audio. All right, so let's take a look at what is actually possibly going on, because I think we can actually see it right when he starts playing it. Look at the head movements of the eye shine that he says, right? It's the same eye shine that walked away, right? That he just claimed took the deer, the little baby deer, whatever. The head movements and bobbing and stuff is, to my opinion and stuff, it is a deer. It is simply another deer. There's a deer right there. You see a deer, baby deer. Then you see the creature eye shine, which is in the far right. That's just another deer. You see the deer's head. You actually see it moving side to side, as most deer do. They're turning and looking side to side, and that's why you get the one clear eyeball look. The other baby deer literally is like right next to it, right? And then of course he says, "Oh, there's the other baby deer that you see the eye shine and stuff," and then the Bigfoot grabs it right there, grabs it, and then takes off. It's right out there, grabs it right there, and then moves off, instead of simply the deer walking away and all that. So that's my opinion on it. You know, maybe your opinion is a little different, but it is simply just multiple deer right there, and the eye shine of a deer. Now the height perspective and stuff, I'm sure he's getting a little wrong because of the smaller deer in the back is small. These are smaller deer. So I mean, if it seems like it got scooped up in the darkness, I mean, I can't really see it. I didn't blow it up. But it to me, it don't. Let me blow it up there. To me, that is just simply a deer that's right there. That big eye shine is just deer. I mean, you're telling me the Bigfoot's just hanging out next to the deer and just like, I mean, he just turns over and just scoops it up, and that deer's just hanging out. Is it zapped or something? I mean, it looks like the deer sniffing each other. Looks. Well, you know what it is now that I have it on full screen. Can I? Oh, I can't do that. Okay. So what? Give me that full screen. So if you look right now, yeah, he says there's a mama deer right there, and then there's a little baby deer in the background, and then you have that creature right there, right? The mama is like sniffing the freaking baby, or sniffing the Bigfoot is like really right there. It makes no sense. I mean, the mom is literally facing the Bigfoot, is what, a foot away, sniffing it. The baby's right next to the mama, and then the Bigfoot scoops the baby away as the mama turns and walks further away from the camera. Let me try to do it from here. I mean, that deer, the mama deer's right there. She's horizontal, so you can see her backside and underside. And she starts, you see her eye shine. She's moving. Now she moves farther away from the camera. She's just sniffing the Bigfoot right there. In my opinion, you could have a bigger buck that is closer to the camera, that is closer to it's closer to the camera and appears to be bigger. Let me exit out of this full screen for me. So you have the baby deer, the furthest one away. Then you have the mama deer. Then you have a deer that's even closer to the camera, but just sideways and out of view, but it appears to be further away because all you see is darkness. Or, maybe this is what happened, the deer is petrified with fear and the Sasquatch is hungry. And he just bends over and picks up little Bambi and pets her and just goes walking away like, oh, that was easy. Didn't have to run. Didn't have to chase that one. Again, the mama walks right up to the Bigfoot, right? She's sniffing it. She saying, please don't eat my baby. Take me instead. The Bigfoot didn't listen. They're more tender the younger they are. I just think that's a bunch of deer, in my opinion. I will say that I didn't have enough time because I just downloaded it right before the show to put it and brighten up the filters and to do some enhancement on that, right? Because I'm sure I could bring it out a little bit better to where you could see a little bit better stuff, but maybe I'll do that. Maybe spend some time on that, figure it out. But we do have something even better, something that looks better than that. So hopefully I won't get in trouble for this next one. But hey, this is all freedom of speech. I'm discerning information to the public, to our Bigfoot community. This is news related purposes, of course, because this is news to me, might be news to you. So should be protected and stuff. I know YouTube has little policies and stuff, but policy isn't the law. Of course, the law states exactly what we have the rights to do, and copyright infringement and actual rights to free use. So I've never been too worried about all that. Let me exit this out. Let me get the next one ready. Maybe you guys have seen this. Maybe you guys haven't.
Good afternoon, everyone. Rick here from Florida Trail Cam Adventures. And
It's definitely not the right one. Oh, this one, yeah.
A picture from a game camera. It's a picture of a picture in Ohio County of a guy got a Bigfoot on his game camera down in the corn. It's a picture of a picture of a picture. You cannot zoom in on it. It'll pixelate, matrix, etc. I asked him for the SD card. He would not give it up. The guy was a hermit. He wanted to be left alone. He was 80 years old. He wanted to get pictures of a big buck before he died. He said, I don't want a media on my property. I don't want the trespassers on my property. I don't want hunters on my property. But if you knock on his door, he'll let you in his house, a big screen TV. I saw 5 pictures of a Bigfoot on a game camera. This picture, his own family member took a picture with his cell phone of the TV screen, put it online. I grabbed it before they took it down. Unfortunately, the guy's passed away now. I've met him a dozen times at his house. I offered to sign non-disclosure, offered him money for the SD card. I even baked him brownies one time. He would not give up the SD cards. But this, I think, was a Bigfoot in the corn pot.
Well, what do you guys think about that, huh? I don't know. First time coming across that photograph with Mr. Charlie Raymond. Of course, wasn't there at the conference, a little conference that he does, and he actually does outings each and every year, which I've had people from Michigan have been on over there and stuff. But we'll probably play that again here in a couple minutes or a minute or two. But what do you guys think? It was a pretty interesting picture. Let me get back over to it, and so we can freeze it right there. That's a face only a mother could love, right? So what do you guys think? What do you guys think about the story? You know, it comes from some hermit guy in the country. He showed Raymond all these pictures and refuses to give him the SD card, right? Even though he baked him brownies or whatever, cupcakes. And then Cookies asked him for money, offered him money, and then the guy refuses, right? You know, but you know, when he was showing Raymond, one of his family members, the guy's family members, took a picture, and then later posted it on like Facebook or something, you know, whatever, MySpace, and then you know, Mr. Raymond grabbed it, screen grabbed it. That's how he's presenting the evidence right there. And then, you know, that's how he has one out of, you know, 5 or whatever. So the guy refused. He's refusing. He's not going to give him the more photographs. Well, then the guy died. I guess his family doesn't want to give up the photographs either. Or is the person who took that, the family member who literally took that photograph, and all of the family members, I guess, are not in agreement to hand over the Bigfoot evidence to the public. I guess that's what the story is, right? What do you guys think? You guys believe that information and stuff? Let's play it one more time.
Got a Bigfoot. So this is a picture from a game camera. It's a picture of a picture in Ohio County of a guy got a Bigfoot on his game camera down in the corn. It's a picture of a picture of a picture. You cannot zoom in on it. It'll pixelate, matrix, etc. I asked him for the SD card. He would not give it up. The guy was a hermit. He wanted to be left alone. He was 80 years old. He wanted to get pictures of a big buck before he died. He said, I don't want a media on my property. I don't want the trespassers on my property. I don't want hunters on my property. But if you knock on his door, he'll let you in his house, a big screen TV. I saw 5 pictures of a Bigfoot on a game camera. This picture, his own family member took a picture with his cell phone of the TV screen, put it online. I grabbed it before they took it down. Unfortunately, the guy's passed away now. I've met him a dozen times at his house. I offered to sign non-disclosure, offered him money for the SD card. I even baked the brownies one time. He would not give up the SD cards. But this, I think, was a Bigfoot in the corn pot.
All right, so you hear the story from him itself. That's where he comes. I mean, he offered all this stuff when he was alive. Why can't he offer the family members the same offer? I mean, come on now. I'm sure one of them's going to crack. They're not as stoic as the old man was, right? See, this is the only problem I have with the story. I mean, it looks interesting. It's definitely better than the last piece of footage we got, right? Looked at, or most of the junk that's put on the internet with red circles. The only problem is, like, okay, he died. So are you going back to the family? Where's the follow-up? Are you still trying? Like, the dude's dead. Like, come on now. Next of kin, usually, different mindset, I don't know. I don't know. I just think it's interesting. So maybe if you guys, know Mr. Raymond personally, you can contact him and ask him about that. And I'm sure he got talked about it many, 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 many times and stuff. So I have no idea. I've met Mr. Raymond here in Michigan at a Bigfoot conference, the first Bigfoot conference I went to. It was the West Branch, Michigan Bigfoot Conference, hosted by now deceased Phil Shaw, a key figure in Michigan Bigfoot research history, an unknown figure, I'm sure, in most of your guys' brains. And but Phil Shaw was a researcher here, local Michigan researcher of West Branch, who categorized a couple hundred local sightings from around his number of counties around him and stuff around West Branch, and was a pivotal member in the community of Michigan Bigfoot research from back way before I started. And he used to have a plane, would fly around and scout areas, and had a couple interesting places where possible activity and stuff and evidence came from. And of course, first conference I went to was his, and I met Charlie and stuff. And Charlie seemed to, for the most part, seem upstanding kind of guy, good researcher. Don't know him personally, don't really follow his work all that much. But I know he had like a big story about some big old Bigfoot that they named that found footprints and stuff. And I know there was people from Michigan that went on some of those outings and said that they had stuff happening. So yes, and I mean, this one is interesting. You can see it. You can see the actual photograph. But the story, again, it's one of those. I tried for 12 years or whatever to get the photographs, and the only reason I got it is because the one family member took the photograph of the big screen TV and then put it on the internet, and then I screenshotted it because it's a picture of a picture of a picture. So there's a couple screenshots in there before we see it right here, which is another screenshot grab. But if the guy's dead and his family has it and the family knows about it because he's shown it, I mean, there's no reason for them not to, he doesn't want people on the property, and that giving Raymond other pieces of evidence doesn't mean that you're going to tell everyone where the property is. That doesn't necessarily mean that's going to happen. So, I mean, other than the family honoring their dead father and grandfather and family members' wishes of not revealing this to the public, I mean, there really isn't no other reason to. Most people would. You would have some kind of grandson. You would have someone that, would probably leak the stuff. Or Raymond at least would try to attempt to go get him from the family now, and he can bake cookies for 5 different people now because, there must be 5 different people that know about it and have seen it and have access, or there's at least one person, right, who has access to it, next of kin type of thing. Or, it simply is a made up story of bullshit, which, and Charlie says don't zoom in on it because, it'll go all Matrix on you. So don't do no enhancement on it either, because it's a picture of a picture of a picture. Because that, I'm not saying anything bad about him. I don't know him. I haven't looked at him or anything. I'm not going to, but some interesting new Bigfoot evidence I came across that I thought you guys would be pretty interested in. Maybe it's not new to you. Maybe it's old. Maybe it's like 10 years old to you guys. I don't know. It's new to me. Thought it was interesting. Cryptidville says, I tried to attend one of his expeditions, talking about Charlie Raymond from the last video, one time, and he tried extremely hard to talk me out of attending. Red flagged me. That'd be a little weird. I don't know. I'm not sure. Never attended and never been around the dude out in the field to get a good judgment on that kind of sort of thing. So, but we have Cryptidville right here saying what happened to him supposedly and stuff, all that. So maybe that was it. I feel like I'm probably not the most likable person nowadays, and I speak in my mind and calling stuff out and doing my own thing, flowing my own way on the river. So that's all we ever can really do. Anyways, that is it. That's all I was going to present. I think we're going to throw the link on, like I said. We got it's not quite 2 hours, so that's pretty good. We'll continue for a little bit longer with you guys, and then we'll shut it down. I've got to go have some fun and stuff. I got a new scope and gonna put that on a little toy, and I get to go to the range here in a couple of days and do all sorts of fun stuff with it. And so I'm gonna do that. I gotta check out the audio. Oh, 24, 25, 23, 22 hours worth of audio. I think one's 15 hours and the other one is maybe 12 or 13 or something like that. So 2 nights more of audio, and then I'm going to try to get a couple more nights this week and the weekend, and then hopefully by the end of next weekend, we'll have a brand new audio setup that will be rocking and kicking butt. We got to get some air tags, some GPS air tags, so I can definitely no, I don't think he wants my help. I don't. Anyways, there's the link to come on. If someone wants to come on, talk about, I guess whatever. It's a chill stream, so kind of relaxing and stuff. Wasn't quite as busy as it normally would be on a Sunday, so I figured I can do this tonight. Don't want to do that. I want to go to my settings, and then I had a bunch of videos. Like I said, a discussion that I was planning to do. Wanted to talk about, like I said, Bob Gillen did a pretty interesting video about crocs and stuff. I love his illustrations and stuff, and wish I could do some of that and had some context that way. That'd be kind of interesting way to do things and go about things. So it'd be awesome to get him actually in the woods back to Michigan again, because I know he visited Michigan one time with a Bigfoot researcher. Can't remember the guy's name. But he had a pretty interesting encounter where he claims as a young boy, basically, long story short, he has a story where basically there was a young juvenile Bigfoot that interacted with him and his group of friends, and then eventually it became a little too attached and followed him home, and the little boy crossed that invisible red line, and he beat his chest, and it freaked the juvenile Bigfoot out into a fit of anger and rage, and he started beating on the kid in the barn. Dad came out with a gun. Bigfoot parents came out. Big fiasco. The little Bigfoot did attack and rip up the clothes up off the kid. The Bigfoot, the mother Bigfoot then grabbed the juvenile and was struggling with the juvenile, and the juvenile got away from the parents and then headed off to the neighbor's, the other kid's house, broke in through the window and stuff, was reaching in, and eventually came through the window and was shot by the dad of that kid. And of course fled, and then eventually government was involved, and then I can't remember his channel. It's like Michigan or Midwest Bigfoot. It's been a while since I've seen anything from him. Anyways, he came to Michigan, hung out, and actually Bob Giblin has that story on his channel. I should have just said that. You can watch that, and he came to Michigan and stuff, and did the interview and stuff. So it'd be nice to get him out again, get him actually in the field to do some stuff. Of course, I say that about everyone. And all that. No, I don't believe so. I believe the person you're talking about, Blackbeard, is like Todd Ellis or Scott Nelson, one of those guys. I did it back in my show. I did it where they verified Debbie's audio of the gibberish, and then I'm not sure if what he thought about the Ron Moorhead hoax fakes that she stole, or the Kayla Ott audio that she stole and claimed was hers, or the Buzzsaw audio, which kind of just disappeared because the gibberish audio is like the cream of the crop to her, and is the one that always gets talked about. But she has the Buzzsaw. It's called the Buzzsaw audio, which is from the same night as the gibberish audio. And the same night she claimed that the Kayla Ott audio that she stole came from, and the same night that the Ron Moorhead audio that she got caught using came from. So when you say, you have 5 pieces of audio evidence that came from one night, that you had this most amazing interaction, and 2 or 3 of them got proven to be someone else's, and the other ones, the other 2 get verified, or the other one get verified by some expert. I mean, it doesn't bode well for the expert, because I personally think it's just random audio off the internet that's made up, or it's her some jungle guy doing some language. No, they back her up. They didn't just let her slide. They fully backed her up and had a full explanation. I did a whole 2 live streams on Debbie, and where I fully explained the entire thing. And in the one, I explained how Beast TV, Mark, and Larry helped cover it up, at least cover it up, or be involved. And that goes with the whole computer aspect, and the very first conference that they produced, where Mark produced the presentation of all the audio clips. And in the clips, it has Ron Moorhead, it has Kayla Otts, it has the gibberish, and it has whatever. And she says in the Kayla Ott audio that's plays that, oh, that's me. I'm the one talking. There's also a dog in that clip that doesn't get mentioned by Debbie and all of them. But anyway, supposedly it was all this audio came off of Miss Old Henry's computer. It came off this one computer of a former member, and she had saved Kayla Ott's audio on her computer, and she had saved this other people's audio on her computer, and Debbie had transferred her audio to that computer, and Mark pulled everything off to use as a presentation, and he might have accidentally, and Debbie might have accidentally, mixed up Henry's copied hoaxed audio, because they ended up saying that she was hoaxing. But Debbie couldn't recognize what she remembered happening, and then the fake Kayla Ott's audio or anything else that wasn't hers, because she remembers everything perfectly. And then later they started doing different. They started doing different presentations and stuff, where the audio was pulled off of Debbie's computer, or Debbie had a fiasco with the audio recorder and tried to save everything, and most of the thing was deleted, but she saved. So this is the key thing. She says all that fake hoax audio came off of Henry's computer, off of the very first presentation, and it was all stored and kept, and then that was always used. But then Debbie says that she pulled off everything off of her own recorder device to her own computer, and then her computer was melting down, and she had to save everything in a hurry, and she only saved the clips. She didn't have the whole night's worth of audio. It got erased. It couldn't be saved, blah, blah, blah. So she had the original clips that she pulled off of her device, and then she bought the new computer and put on the new computer. And so the audio clips that came off of her device that she pulled off herself contained the Kayla Ott's hoax audio that she claimed was hers, also the Ron Moorhead's audio, and the gibberish and the buzzsaw audio. So that's a long story short. So I think it was like Todd Ellis or Scott Nelson, one of those audio expert dudes who are connected to Ron Moorhead. Whoever works with Ron Moorhead, I believe, is the guy who verified the gibberish audio to be non-human, possibly Bigfoot. And Mark Newbell and his audio expertise claimed that Patrick Vaughn's Bigfoot audio is legit, of an unknown animal. But we know Patrick Vaughn is a well-known hoaxer. He came out as a fraud, hoax, made up everything. And his audio, in my opinion, is a coyote. And anyone who hears it, who has a brain, knows that it's a coyote, not a vocalization from an unknown animal. In my 7 years of audio expertise at that time, of course, he probably has close to a decade now, right? Larry has his sack clinched. Lockbeard. Mark, of course, is back in the sport. Maybe both getting, I don't know. You're starting the rumors up. But you guys can watch my videos, and I've exposed all that bull crap and fake, made up shenanigans, because that's what it is and stuff. So, and I think they're the perfect couple. Who's better, to be together than a bunch of hoaxers that lie and make up stuff, because they're family. Family don't expose each other. So, anyways, yeah. If there's anyone who wants to come on, you guys can actually come on and talk and go all about that. I do got a video to watch today. I think Lockbeard, you got probably tagged in it too, did you? More drama for some from that foaming at the mouth wolf guy and Mr. Cluffington, right? Mr. Cluffington made a little video, and I think it's pretty interesting by the looks of it. I have to get into it. I was tagged in it. I don't know if he it's kind of some sort of little I don't know. Gotta look into it. Gotta watch it, I guess, right? Or skim through it. Most likely have it in my ears. I'm doing my fucking work. Making the time go by faster. No, Lockbeard, you weren't tagged in it. Brent, the tall one's dark, was tagged in it though. I guess some of the other people that might have been involved in whatever bullshit that wasn't really anything. So, yeah, the Dogman video that he keeps. I haven't seen the newest one where he like. I'm guessing he just hunkers down even more. He just like doubles down on it being Dogman video instead of the like Malaysian or whatever Taiwanese people that are just doing all that stuff. So let me look that up actually. I haven't watched it. I haven't had time to do all that. I got time during the week, on the way to work, sometimes when I'm working and stuff, I can listen to different podcasts and all that, eat up some time, but typically in the weekends I'm busy doing stuff or hanging out. Be doing some fishing trips and stuff coming up, doing some camping solo trips. I actually planned to do some last week, but I actually got sick and didn't go, so that was a bummer, but I got audio out consistently, so should be able to get audio out once I get the long-term duration out. That bad boy's going to be out all the time, but I can get out about 25 hours a week at least, 2 days a week. I can push it up to maybe 3 or 4 if I really wanted to. So, but I am manually having to go out there and get it, and manually have to change batteries, and manually having to do that. With the next setup, it should record maybe for a week straight nonstop, maybe 2 weeks nonstop. Put an Apple AirTag in there to track it, make sure no one steals it, make sure Bigfoot don't take it, and I guess we're going to find out where he takes it, right? Figure it out with the Apple AirTag. So we're going to get it set up. Maybe I'll do a little live video demonstration of the setup and hookups. I do have to order some aftermarket like accessory from Amazon, battery banks that I'm going to have to solder together. My one buddy Tyler, Lost Cryptid member, he got that set up and it works really good. Let me. So the other Bigfoot Dogman video that Thinker Thunker just did, Juvenile Bigfoot Dogman Baboon Humans, that he made a day ago, I've not watched. But we did do a live video about this. And it's just humans. It is a tourist attraction in one of those countries, Southeast Asian countries or whatever. And there's even a tree that gets pulled by itself. I think it's on a string, but there's nothing pushing or pulling the string or a tree. I don't think Thinker Thunker ever addressed that, which would be something interesting because it's pulled on a string, of course, with pulleys and stuff. But people know about this. Who was talking about this? Someone was talking about this earlier on some other podcast. I think it would have been on Nikki's podcast with the guy from Oklahoma. I'm just forgetting his name. His the No Such Thing podcast, or maybe that was the other guy who was on. The guy from New England. Let me look it up real quick. So it wasn't the No Such Thing podcast. That was the other guest, which I suggest you guys go subscribe to that channel right now, the No Such Thing podcast. He's a great guy, down to earth. He was the other guy who was on Let me go to Nikki's show. I guess I just probably might be the easiest way because I'm not finding it on my my channel list. No such thing. Podcast with, I think it's David Wilbanks. Is that his name? There are so many people, and I'm not really good with names and all that, and blah 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 blah. Yeah, David Wilbanks from Bigfoot and More. That is what I'm seeing. So I think in that podcast with David Wilbanks on Nikki's show, they talk about how this is like the Morai people or something, or this is there's a couple videos, and there's some videos during the daytime where they're running around and they have this big old animal fur on them, and they're whistling and they're chirping and they're acting wild and feral and stuff. And it's kind of like a tourist attraction and stuff like that. Yeah. I had to look it up because I was getting them both confused with each other. But I would suggest you guys check both those channels out and subscribe because they definitely do good. And I would love to get out to Oklahoma. Definitely the Kiamichi Mountains and that the areas that they investigate and stuff were prime, and would love to get out there. So one of these days, it's definitely going to happen. Yeah, I work out of Mason. I work out of do express tree service, and kind of an old time and boss guy. So I'm not worried about any woke cancellation or anything like that. So have fun for people who want to try to mess with me. That's going to be fun. So yeah, I work for Express Tree Service out of Mason, Michigan, and we are the top tree service out of there. And I've been doing this work. So I'm not an arborist and stuff. I guess I had to be considered an arborist apprentice, but not officially. I've been doing this for 6 years now. And I do have not official training, but I know how to definitely take trees down. I've been in buckets, trucks. I've ran trim saws to 500. We got a 660, big old saw, but 6 foot bars is usually the max that we've got. But at this point, I was thinking about it. I've done several hundreds of trees. Of takedowns, crane removals, storm damage where trees are on houses or trees are, dangerously barely holding on, and they call us. I've been on jobs where, there are great channels and stuff. I don't recall that channel, but I watch a lot of tree service and tree work accidents and stuff because it is in the top 5 most dangerous jobs in America. And it is extremely dangerous. And I've had my own close calls and I've seen some crazy stuff, but I've been on job sites where we have to finish the job of someone who's died. Basically, I've been on a couple different jobs where the one guy, we were doing a big old cottonwood tree, there was a dozen cottonwood trees, massive full grown ones all around an apartment complex. And the previous company guy was in a bucket truck out back, wasn't harnessed in. And the setup that he was going way too big and trying to rope something that was way too huge. And it smacked and bounced him right off and smacked him. He landed on an air conditioning unit, and we came in after they cleaned everything up, but he dented the F out of the air conditioning unit, and he was dead on impact. We've been on jobs where we have to finish the work where there's already like a notch in the tree, and it's basically the whole tree's still there. And a lot of times, homeowners have accidents and stuff. They start doing some tree work and doesn't go too well. So they got to call us. But we've serviced the town of Mason and surrounding towns and all that, and do a good job. I love the work I do. Great, amazing boss. Yeah, several hundreds of trees now, stuff. But I actually hope to start my very own. Well, I'll be climbing and stuff. I'm actually starting to learn to climb, and hopefully by another, I would say next year or two, start doing my own little side gigs of climbing and contracting, and eventually start my own tree service, because that is the game plan and stuff. So that's actually what I do. That's what I've been doing for the last 6 years, and it is an incredibly fun and fulfilling job that I absolutely love, and I do not want to really stop. And I'll tell you what, my boss is 60 fucking years old. He still climbs. He still climbs trees. He still cuts trees. He does everything. And I tell you what, I wouldn't want to have messed with him in his younger days. I still don't want to mess with him. But so there's a little shout out. There's a little promotion for my company and stuff that I work for, and we definitely can handle any job that you can throw at us. We definitely have done it all. We've actually done the Ingham County Courthouse, massive old oak tree, just massive beast of a tree that we used a crane on, and had on that particular job, when we were taking the huge upper half of the tree off, we were taking it with the crane, and all of a sudden, we have a climber that's in the other section of the tree, and it's stuck, and it's going like, what the heck? And there was actually a cable tie-in, 50 years ago, when the tree actually had split apart a little bit. Some type of tree company came in, installed a cable to keep the tree together and stuff. So when we were cutting it and having it on the crane, tugging on that crane, so that was pretty sketchy for a couple moments and stuff. But if you walked by that courthouse today and look around, you couldn't even find where that spot of that tree was, and yet it was the biggest tree around. So yeah, done several hundreds of trees, learned a little bit about trees, and you would be surprised how small trees can hold amount of weight, or how much weight trees are above your head and stuff. Sections of trees are a couple thousands of pounds, 10,000 pounds. You would be quite surprised. But what I have learned, that if Sasquatches climb the crotches of trees where two branches split off, we call it the crotches of a tree. That's usually where we do a lot of the rope work, and when we're roping off heavy sections and stuff. That is a very strong contact point on trees, and can easily hold a lot of weight and stuff. And so full-grown Sasquatches can climb oak trees, maple trees, depending on certain types of pine trees. I would say that they can. But most pine trees are softwoods. They're going to be kind of brittle and stuff. But big old massive oak trees, box elder trees can hold some pretty good weight. Hickory, locust, they're a pain in the butt kind of a tree to do tree work on, because they're springy, and when you throw them in the chipper, they fling at you. I got cut right here. I don't know if you guys notice it, but I got cut in the face because I got whipped. Always getting beat up and getting cut and stuff, because that chipper is just eating everything. We got a massive chipper that we eats a lot of stuff. But anyways, there's a little bit about me, about my company and all that. So I'm not afraid to share all that and stuff. You can have fun trying to get me fired if you want. You're just going to get laughed at. You're just going to get laughed at. So I'm not afraid of that cancel culture bullshit. So if you're in Michigan, you're in Ingham County, and you guys need some tree work, call Express Tree Service. We will handle the job. And, if my boss, you can't work on something with my boss, definitely he will recommend other people that will do that. We're not cheap. We're not the cheapest guys around, but we have 40 years of experience from my boss, who I've seen do amazing things with a chainsaw and rope and and we definitely can handle anything and do a damn good job. So that's why we're number one service in Mason. So it's kind of why I'm having the conference here in Mason and stuff. Ingham County is actually a whole number, several dozens of Bigfoot encounters of over the years and recent ones, and consistent encounters throughout the years too, which is very odd, given that it's just all farmland basically. I mean, it's just a big old farming community, but you'd be surprised where Sasquatch seem to migrate, pass through, and congregate. So there must be some sort of reasons, and I'm trying to get to the bottom of it. Like I said, I just got some new private property to have access to. Going to be pretty good. We do some varmint hunting here pretty soon with my 22. Going to be doing that for some fun and all that. I know it's not hunting season, but I do have legal permission to eradicate varmints legally, so be able to do outside of hunting season a little bit of 22 work and all that. It's been a while. I like to hunt. I'm going to be hunting this hunt season, doing a lot of small game hunting, and of course deer, and try to get my bow back strung up. And I got to practice a bunch before I want to try to shoot a deer. You know, you don't want to just I still got it. Just launch one. So just doing a lot lately, having fun with the family and getting the family out. We're gonna be going fishing. I'm gonna be taking my 5-year-old. We're gonna start going camping and stuff, doing some fishing, start getting out more outdoors this summer. So it's finally old enough, I think, and we'll listen. Listen well enough, and don't have to change diapers and things like that. And so we'll be definitely getting out and having a lot of fun. But so that's pretty much why I haven't been doing the consistent shows. Saturdays might not be doing show Saturday anymore because just life's changing, things are going on. So we'll hang in there as long as we can and stuff. Or we might start doing some Sunday afternoon chill streams, or move us to some other day. I'm not quite sure. It might go random. We might shut down a little bit with the live show. But I actually do have to finish up and working on some research videos, actual videos and stuff that we're putting out. I got a bunch of different projects that I started working on, and always seem to get focused because there's always stuff coming through. So I film one big section of things, and all of a sudden a couple months go by, you're working on it, and then all of a sudden you film a bunch of more outings, and now you get all this bunch of stuff. And so I do have a lot of stuff on the backlog. I do apologize. I know I've said we put stuff out, and sometimes you come home after a long day of lifting logs and doing work, and you got a bunch of other things you got to do on top of that. Sometimes it push things away, but I figure, maybe if I don't do enough, do a lot of 4-hour live streams and stuff like that, I could probably make some time and things like that. But it was nice taking a break. Yeah, killing some varmints. Yeah, I am. I bought a new scope for my 22. I'm going to sight it in. It's a nice IR scope, so I'm going to be able to use it at nighttime. And the reason why I bought it and spent the extra money on it is because I'm gonna take the scope off the gun, and I'm gonna use it in the Bigfoot research, because I want to see how effective it uses with the ambient light source. If it's a scope and it works, maybe I can get an IR laser and stuff like that, because they do have lasers that they use with IR now instead of lights and different stuff too. So maybe I could have some long range IR laser scope that I can then duct tape my GoPro to, basically, and it might be good enough to film with, honestly. So if not, I still got a fun little toy to shoot some groundhogs and some rabbits, and maybe a coyote if it was close enough. Pump the whole mag into them. But I got a 223 for coyote hunting and stuff, so, and I have a different light set up for that. But that's a different story. There's some small little hobbies and stuff I love getting into, and all of that. Well, it's about 2 hours in. No one's joined the live show, so I'm going to probably shut it down. Like I said, go have some fun. I'll probably get some more food here. Got to do some more push-ups and stuff. I already did 60 push-ups today, so I'm going to be busting out 60 more. And then the month of July, I'm going to probably try to do the 1776 push-up challenge for, I think it's Wounded Warrior or something. Or some veteran. Something that came across my Facebook page because I was interested in St. June's Children's Hospital 1,000 push-up challenge and stuff. So now I'm getting these different stuff. So I might be doing that and getting bigger and stronger and trying to be better for Bigfoot research, mindset, spirituality, and everything else. So if you guys want to come and hang out in Mason, Michigan, September 28th, check out the link that should be in the description for the tickets and the information. Then it goes right to the website and all that. But basically, all the information's here. It's 700 East Ash. I got a little wisp there. 700 East Ash Street, Mason, Michigan. It is actually at the Ingham County Fairgrounds. So, just type in the Ingham County Fairgrounds. And this is at the banquet hall. And September 28th, doors open at 9 a.m. The event is going to start at 10 a.m. I think we're going to have lunch break around 1 p.m. Probably finish out no later than 6 p.m. And then we're going to shut everything down and scoot on over to the campsite, where we're going to have fun and hang out and go out Bigfoot researching at nighttime. And then for the next couple of days, we're going to be going into different areas, depending on how many people we have and all that, blah, 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 blah. But actually trying to get Bigfoot research. And then, so that's what we're going to have. It's coming up very shortly. It's like 3 months away. So, if you want to help support the channel, the group, our event and stuff, and you guys want to come hang out, I'm going to have a campground at a private campground and stuff. And I would have invitation to people who I value and have discipline to go out in the woods with, because I don't want any hooligans with a bunch of shenanigans going on. I want discipline when we're going to have research and having fun and stuff, right? So here's a good way. You can donate through Facebook. I mean, there's other links on shows that donate here and there and blah, blah, blah. So, but pretty much this conference is about teaching the general public about what possibly is out there and what research techniques to use if they come across these stuff to preserve evidence. So maybe one day we can actually prove a damn thing, right? How to take a report, how to actually write a report, how to cast tracks, how to recognize possibly, Bigfoot sign that the community thinks is Bigfoot sign, how to recognize potential Bigfoot vocalization, maybe how to use a free software called Audacity to put it in there and check and look at things, how to use trail cameras, how to maybe try to get some of these younger hunters to use audio equipment out there with their trail cameras, Maybe we need to get some more audio equipment running by people and have a network of people who are using audio equipment and sending it to a central hub of where information can be accessed by researchers and looked at. And wouldn't that be fun and stuff? Maybe with a little AI assistant help, we can eventually do that. Create some online hub of audio deposits where we upload our audio to an online hub where all Bigfoot researchers could access the audio and have the data stamps and who got it, where it came from, and look at it themselves. And it's kind of like, here, this is what I got. This is my audio. And then we can have little AI assistants going through it, organizing it and stuff like that, because that is going to become a reality. We're going to have little Jarvis Iron Man assistants, little Jarvises, maybe not so high tech, but we'll have little assistants that can help us with everyday life and organizing and creating data points and graphs and statistics to be analyzed through AI stuff. All we have to do is teach it what we want to look for. So that is a good thing with AI. So I know we've been focused on the bad stuff. So without further ado, we're taking off. We're leaving you guys to go on to the next show. I hope you guys have fun. God bless each and every one of you. You are all special and are worthwhile and have an immense amount of value. So I hope everyone has a fantastic and wonderful day. Tell everyone you care about that you love them a little extra today. You never know what can happen out there. So I hope everyone has a fantastic, wonderful rest of the day, rest of the week. Happy 4th of July. God bless America. God bless each and every one of you.